Well, first, I just want to say thank you very much for this exciting opportunity. It was a real pleasure to work with the students this afternoon.
Pratt 觉得很荣幸能一起跟大家一起合作，然后能执教我们英特的学生。
To share a few of the highlights from my lesson, I'll start with number one. I think it's important to build positive relationships with students so that they know that I care about them and that they can trust me.
上好一节课，我觉得最重要的是一开始能够跟学生建立一个很积极向上的关系，让他们知道我很在乎他们，很关心他们。
Obviously, this is pretty difficult for me to do because I just met these wonderful students today. But as they were working on their warm-ups, I tried to walk around and say hello, ask about their day, talk about their shoes, their watches, anything I could think of, so that they knew I cared about.
And lunches. 对我来说这非常难，因为我今天刚刚碰见他们，所以呢，我们在做这个热身的时候，我尽量在他们中间走来走去，来询问一下他们今天过得怎么样啊，问任何事情。
If I had the pleasure to work with them every day through a whole year, I would know about their little sister or their dog's name, and I could ask about that kind of stuff too.
如果我是他们常规的老师的话，我可能会了解他们更多，他们的兄弟姐妹啊，有没有宠物啊。
And again, this is just so that they trust me, that they know that I care about them, and that they'd be willing to take a risk when I ask them to do that.
这样他们就会相信我，他们也愿意去承担风险，上课也会就敢去做一些有风险的事情。
Secondly, I tried to incorporate a lot of real-world samples, just like Jenny did, into my lesson with the golf and the baseball problem as well.
我尽量把生活实践出现的问题带到我的数学课堂，就像我们张老师一样，他讲英特的那个钟楼，我呢讲了高尔夫和棒球。
I would do that on a regular basis. I would try to use samples that the students would be interested in. Maybe from the community, anything to tie the math lessons into the real world.
我会使用任何学生感兴趣、能够跟现实生活联系起来的数学问题。
Next, I try to use some formative assessment. So instead of having the students do a whole unit of study and then just taking a test at the very end, I try to check at small intervals regularly throughout the lessons.
我呢还使用了形成性评价，不是呢在一整节课之后给他们一个考试来看他们的结果如何，而是在整个过程中的每一个小的步骤里面去发现他们的一个进步过程。
So you probably saw me circulating, walking around between the desks, looking over the shoulders of the students so I could make sure that they were doing the problems properly.
所以你们可以看见我在上课的时候走来走去的，不停的就是观察学生在做的事情，可以就是让我自己也知道学生的进度怎么样了。
This lesson was a review for most students, so really none of them had any troubles. But if they were really struggling, I might slow down. I might go back to review information from the past to make sure that they were understanding the flow of the lesson.
大家可以看出这节课其实有点像复习课了，没有知识是新知识。如果说这个是新知识，如果我有发现学生有困难的话，我肯定会把节奏慢下来的。
Next, I wanted to provide opportunities for students to collaborate with each other, to share thoughts with one another, to talk to each other, to move around and speak to different students in the classroom as well.
我呢也尽量促成学生的一个团队合作的一个精神，就是让他们能够动起来，找到他们的小伙伴来一起进行一个这个团队的活动。
And I would hope this helps create an environment where all students participate, they're all comfortable sharing ideas with each other and learning from one another.
让学生感到有一个这样的环境，让他们可以从互相的那个伙伴里面互相学习。
Lastly, another strategy I used at the end was that exit slip with the little Post-it notes, and then I grouped them by correct answers, and then there were just a couple of incorrect answers. So that gives me an understanding of where my class is with this particular topic.
最后，我用一个小贴纸在那个黑板上贴出，就说一堆呢就是做对的贴纸，一堆呢是少数啊没有做对的。这样呢其实是对我一个上课的一个对自我的一个评价，就是我这节课上下来的效果怎么样。
So even just glancing at those post-it notes, I can see that the majority of the students did really well with this lesson, so they're probably ready to move on to something more difficult tomorrow.
If you're teaching tomorrow, yes. 所以可以从这些小贴纸可以看出，大多数的同学都掌握了今天要上的内容。那从这个结果，我就可以知道了，如果我明天还要教的话，那我应该是继续往下教呢，还是再复习一下？
And then the last thing I wanted to mention was a little bit of a tricky part of the lesson, and maybe I wasn't asking the question well, but I was asking students to write down a true statement about that golf example.
有一个地方我觉得学生有点卡，就是我让学生来描述，就是他用了那个打高尔夫球的例子之后，让学生用一个 true statement， 就是用真实的语言来描述这个数学现象。学生好像有点摸不着边际，可能我没有把这个问题讲清楚。
So I wanted that to be a way for students to synthesize the information, to make sure that they understood how to apply the mathematics in the real world.
其实这个步骤，我想让学生培养一个综合提取的能力，能够呢把数学语言转化成生活语言，把从张晶老师语言转化成我的语言。
And the students did give some really good answers to that, but things like I would have to hit 2 golf shots to make it to where Mr. Champagne did in 1 golf shot. So really making sense of this scenario instead of just focusing on the numbers, thinking about the big picture.
其实我今天用的这个例子，我跟我的好朋友 Mr. Champagne 经常是打高尔夫球的。我觉得，就我的这个采取的策略是走2回进洞，他的策略是一次性进洞。我觉得很符合今天的数学的这个话题，还是蛮真实的情景。
And then finally, the baseball question would be like a homework assignment usually. I know that was kind of a difficult question for students. They probably did not have enough time to solve it, but I would leave them with I would prefer to have one complicated problem instead of a lot of like 20 really quick, easy ones.
I also add something. I think it's also difficult because baseball is not a hugely popular sport in China, so students have limited knowledge about the field and the rules and everything. 是，他说就是其实最后的那个棒球场的计算那个角度是吧？是他留给学生做这个作业的。那这个比前面的这个任务呢，又更具有挑战性了。他觉得在一堂课里面应该有一些任务是对学生来说是应该要更难一点的。那我刚才就是跟他加了一句，我就说我们的学生有困难，可能还有一点跟我们在中国，可能棒球并不是我们中国人特别熟悉的运动，可能学生对这个场地设置啊、规则。 不大熟悉，本身这种缺失呢，也导致了可能做数学题，张老师同不同意？就是说
Definitely agree with that.
可能也会造成一定的困难。
So those were some of the highlights that I hope to share with the group, and thank you again for this wonderful
这就
opportunity.
是我要说的，感谢大家给我的机会。